पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट, 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
डैड का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। This Father's Day, complete his gift.
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता।
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान है खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट, 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
डैड का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। This Father's Day, complete his gift.
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता।
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान है खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट, 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
Dad का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता।
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान है खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट, 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
Dad का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता,
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान है खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूँ।
Dad का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता,
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान है खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूँ।
Dad का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता,
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
we have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान हैं खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट, 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूँ।
Dad का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता,
Actually, we wanted to say
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
We have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान हैं खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
डैड का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहाँ हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता।
Actually, we wanted to save.
इस उल्टे रखे फोन में भी झलकता है, जो कहता है बोलिए खुल के।
We have a startup idea.
For an online business, no.
हमारे कान हैं खुले, नजरिया है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पापा का फादर्स डे गिफ्ट 5 बजे उठना।
बाबा को वाह वाह पसंद आएगा या
लाइफ में पहली बार मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूं।
डैड का नया टीवी is just half the gift. The other half becoming his match buddy.
पापा का नया टैबलेट बिना एक ह्यूमन मैनुअल के इनकम्प्लीट है।
पोइट्री लिखने के लिए बाबा को पेन तो देते हैं, पर हमारी वाह वाह यूज गिफ्ट को पूरा करती है।
योगा मैट इज जस्ट अ गिफ्ट, पर जब बेटी योगा पार्टनर बन जाए, इट कंप्लीट्स हिज गिफ्ट।
पापा के आधे गिफ्ट्स पे डील्स हम दे रहे हैं, पर उन्हें पूरा तो सिर्फ आप कर सकते हैं। दिस फादर्स डे कंप्लीट हिज गिफ्ट।
हाँ माँ, बैंक आई हूँ। हाँ, डोंट वरी, मैं ठीक हूँ।
ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, हमारे हर रवैये, हर अंदाज में झलकता है।
क्यों? बैंक तो खुला है।
कहता है कि आपके लिए हमारे दरवाजे हैं दिल से ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन। ओपन एक्सिस बैंक में ये साइन सिर्फ दरवाजे पे नहीं लटकता, आपकी ओर मुड़ी हुई इन कुर्सियों में भी झलकता है, जो कहती है बेझिझक बैठिए कहीं भी।
टैटू अलाउड है।
यहां हर सीट, हर सोच है ओपन। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
Namaskaram and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy International Day of Yoga. My name is Shobha Rana, and I'm your host for today. I would like to welcome you to the Axis Bank and Isha Foundation's The Power of Yoga, Mind, Body, and Soul event. Today is guaranteed to be both invigorating and calming for all of us. Taking the journey of this last year, one day at a time, here we are. We would like to thank you all for your strength, perseverance, tolerance, and commitment. We were able to sail through this tremendously challenging year by keeping an open mind, a mind that's open to acknowledging, accepting, and adapting to the changes is the one that always emerges out stronger than ever before. This is the key to a long and prosperous career and life. Ladies and gentlemen, International Day of Yoga is a very meaningful day celebrated in India since 2015. But of course, yoga has been a practice that Indians have championed for centuries, an ancient art that we practice till this date. Today, we celebrate this practice to help us deal with the stress on a physical, mental, and emotional level. Being an ardent yoga practitioner myself, I have been able to unlock and taste some of the beautiful gifts of yoga. It really helps in building a more positive and holistic outlook towards life, people, and situations. Such a holistic mechanism may not be able to change the situations that surround us, but it certainly helps us to be more strong from within. It equips us to cope up with the stress and situations arising around us. Eventually, a community that practices yoga creates a stronger, healthier, and happier world for everybody around them. Ladies and gentlemen, a successful and sustainable life is something that we all desire for. And we are privileged to have one such person amongst us who is living this every day of his life, guiding us with his wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce and invite Group Executive, Retail Liabilities, Branch Banking and Products, Axis Bank, Mr. Ravi Narayanan, who I would like to now invite on stage to share his thoughts. I know we are connected through this virtual platform, but still in the spirit of this event, in the spirit of yoga, let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Narayanan on stage.
Thank you, Shobha, for the wonderful introduction. Namaskarams to all my customers and my colleagues who are attending this event. First of all, let me express my gratitude and thanks to Isha Foundation and Sadhguruji. Thank you for arranging this excellent event, which will enrich us and which will take us to realizing our own beauty and self. Axis Bank, as you know, has been always in the forefront of trying to do new things, understand how we are able to bring together different aspects, newness, wellness, richness, and most importantly, safety to all our customers and the ecosystem that we serve. Axis Bank is socially responsible, commercially absolutely safe, and we ensure that our service and our service standards are right up there in terms of the gold benchmarks that we set for ourselves. Today, we talk of wellness. Today, we talk of nature's way of taking care of ourselves. And today, we submit ourselves to yoga. This old traditional method of ensuring that each one of us held responsible, accountable, as well as ensuring that we are helping ourselves become better. Yoga is not just a way of living, but it is also a way of giving. Axis Bank always ensures that it is through our heart and not just through our mind that we are able to create this open architecture of utilizing this natural strength that is endowed to every human being. and that is what is yoga. Yoga tells us that there is a natural way to everything. I recollect this verse from Upanishad. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram. Sarvadevanam namaskaram madhavam pratigacchati. What it means is just like from the sky when the rain falls, its natural process is to move towards the ocean. Similarly, we may all take the Lord's name in different names, but ultimately our prayers go to the universal one, the Supreme Being. Similarly, our body also has a natural way of being well, being healthy, and being available for delivering what it is supposed to do, which is happiness all around. Happiness to self and happiness to everyone else. Yoga is one such way of ensuring that we do so beautifully, naturally, and creating wellness all around. Wellness is purely natural. You keep yourself healthy, you keep yourself well, and you are able to sprinkle all around that sense of happiness to people who come in touch with you. Yoga is the same. Today, Axis Bank, through this platform and event, is celebrating International Yoga Day through the aegis and blessings of Sadhguruji and his beautiful platform called Isha Foundation. I am sure all our customers and my colleagues will enjoy the event as we go along. I wish each one of you the very best. Namaskarams. Thank you to all my customers who have joined us today in this event. And now, I welcome you all to join the power of yoga. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Narayanan, for your impactful words and this meaningful logo that we see before us. Ladies and gentlemen, in our country, the power of yoga is almost synonymous with this great guru that I'm about to introduce to you all now. Ladies and gentlemen, a yogi and a profound mystic of our times, Sadhguru is a humanitarian and a prominent spiritual leader in mankind's global community. He's the founder of the non-profit organization Isha Foundation, which is a strong family of 9 million volunteers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 9 million volunteers and 300 centers worldwide. Under his guidance, the foundation has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, enriching all aspects of human life. Both a yogi and a man of today, having been a prominent voice at some of the most premium international forums like World Economic Forum, World President Organization, United Nations, Google, Harvard, Yale, Stanford, MIT, Oxford, and even the London Business School. Without any further ado, it is my absolute delight, privilege, and honor to welcome on stage the one and the only Sadhguru. Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of this event, let's put our hands together and
Namaskaram to all of you at the Axis Bank. Yoga is being brought into your laps by one of our Isangas who is highly trained for this purpose. This very simple aspect of yoga is structured for all of you who are in the banking and financial sector, daily doing financial circus, business circuses, but it's very, very important that you are at the peak of your physical, mental, emotional and energetic performance. If you wish to function, especially in these challenging times of this pandemic, which is demanding that we are able to function in this new atmosphere in a successful way. If we want to be successful in these unpredictable situations, it's very, very important that we are physically, mentally, emotionally and energetically, we're very agile. So this yoga is designed for that purpose. Very simple practice. If you bring it into your life, it will definitely make a difference. Believe me, just 4 to 6 weeks of practice will set you apart from who you were 6 weeks ago and what you shall be in 6 weeks' time. But unfortunately, this yoga works only for those who practice. So it's my wish and my blessing that you keep this practice and benefit from this. It is our endeavor to see that everybody, irrespective of the professions they are in, particularly in India, that all of you function at your peak, because your performance determines the well-being, wealth and prosperity of the nation. I beseech you that all of you should keep these practices up and become more efficient, more competent and better human beings in every possible way. My heartiest blessings and wishes to all the people at Axis Bank. I'm with you in this process. Let's make it happen.
Thank you so much for your words, Sadhguru. It's truly a delight to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, so now let's divulge into our session for today. And for the same, I would like to introduce you all to Swami Nakshatra. He is a trained inner engineering teacher, graduated as an electronics and communication engineer. He worked as a research scientist at a few startups in Silicon Valley. He had a chance introduction to Isha Yoga and Sadhguru about 14 years ago. Inspired by his personal transformation, he now devoted to offering the science of inner engineering across the world. Currently, he helps coordinate Isha Foundation's activities across India and its unique offerings such as Rally for Rivers, Youth and Truth, and COVID relief. Before we get started with Swamiji's session, I would request all our audiences to post their questions in the comment section of the YouTube chat link so that some of those questions will be picked up and answered by Swamiji himself. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's welcome on stage Swami Nakshatra.
Thank you, Shobha. Namaskaram and welcome to all the Axis Bank customers. Is my audio clear to all of you? You can use the chat window to respond. And those of you joining, I think so many of you are from different parts of the country who are joining. If you can also type in the city in which you're coming from, joining from. And for you to make the best use of this space, it'll be good if you can use the earphones or the headphones so that it is, you can go through these meditations and the yogic processes with absolute focus. We are happy to join you from Isha Yoga Center on this occasion of International Day of Yoga. We'd like to begin by introducing you to Sadhguru's work, his introduction, and the foundation's work through a short video. Shall we watch this together?
In the next half hour, you're going to meet a man who has a devoted following across India and indeed around the world. While yoga and meditation are at the core of his teachings to promote individual growth, the work of the foundation covers conservation, education and health. And you'll find him astonishingly pragmatic on a range of very modern-day problems. Let's meet Sadhguru.
We have the necessary resource, we have the necessary capability, we have the necessary technology to address every human problem on the planet. But the only thing that is missing is consciousness. We started a mass campaign and 6 years I spent planting trees in people's heads. That's the most difficult terrain, believe me. And now in the last 6 years we've been transplanting it and that's happening much more easily.
Action for Rural Rejuvenation is mainly aimed at rejuvenating the human spirit. This is an incredible movement that is started in Tamil Nadu. We want to see that this happens to the whole country and revitalizing rural societies.
English and computer skills are very essential to make these children come out of the hopeless economic and social pit they are in. Whatever the nature of your business, ultimately, it is all about human well-being.
Isha Foundation, a non-religious, non-profit public service organisation headquartered in southern India.
We've engineered the outside world in so many ways, but we've done nothing about this one.
If you want to know well-being, in is the only way out.
An incredible rally starting from Kanyakumari, reaching up to the Himalayas with the sole purpose of rejuvenating India's rivers.
We are also launching another campaign called Kaveri Calling. This 83,000 square kilometers of Kaveri Basin, we want to bring it back, at least 1/3 of it, back into some kind of green cover. We are launching a campaign called Youth and Truth in the month of September. Youth and Truth, unplug with Sadhguru, ask whatever you want.
This precious life, where are you going to invest it? What is it that will be worthwhile today and worthwhile after 50 years? You invest your life into that.
You have to describe yourself in one word. Would you consider wildlife as 2 words or 1 word? It's…
Welcome once again. In the chat window is buzzing with people joining from different parts of not only this country, but also the neighboring countries from Kuala Lumpur and Sri Lanka and so on. So it's truly a spirit of International Day of Yoga. There is an international audience to discover the power of yoga and how it is relevant in today's times. Yoga is a very corrupt word. The moment we say yoga, people have different perspective, different understanding of what yoga is and what yoga can do. So let me start from what each one of you understand as to what yoga means to you. In the chat window, you can share what does yoga mean to you. When we say yoga, what is the immediate thing that comes into your mind? What does it mean when we say yoga? Normally, yoga means, normal people means they walk on their feet. Yoga means they stand on their head. So this is the general perception. What does yoga mean to each one of you? So there are many ways to describe this. I think people are saying peace, calm, blissfulness, asanas, meditation, okay? So many things that comes to your mind. So let's understand it from where we have experienced a certain amount of control over oneself. Right now, the way we have engineered ourselves, the external world, we have engineered it so well, isn't it so? The external engineering of this world is fantastic. Truly fantastic. In the last 100 years, we have done tremendous amount of engineering to the world, to the very face that the very face of the planet has changed dramatically. We have comforts and conveniences that we could not even imagine just a few decades ago. 100 years ago, what was unthinkable is available to modern, common people today. So this external engineering has definitely brought a lot of comforts and conveniences, isn't it so? Right now, we are connected through this technology. The external mobility is completely stopped, but this technology has allowed us to conduct this program, to conduct this session with thousands of people joining from different parts of the world. Not only this, the room that you're sitting in, the air conditioner or the fan has allowed you to create the right kind of atmosphere, the right kind of temperature, the right kind of climate that your body is comfortable with. Isn't it so? Yes or no? Yes. So this is engineering. This external engineering has definitely brought a lot of comforts to us. Now, physically, never before has another generation known these kinds of comforts and conveniences. Isn't it so? Aren't we the most comfortable generation to ever live on this planet? Never before has another generation known these kinds of comforts and conveniences. Okay? We are the most comfortable generation to ever live on this planet. But can we claim that we are the most peaceful, joyful, loving generation to ever live on this planet? Definitely not the happiest generation, are we? We cannot say that. So this external engineering has definitely brought a lot of comforts and convenience to us. But in terms of life, it doesn't seem to have worked. Now, all engineering and management in the world is to create the external situations the way we want them, as it's comfortable and convenient for us. This air conditioner is creating the right kind of temperature that the body is comfortable with. Okay, we have this much control over the external atmosphere. What about the inner atmosphere? The inner atmosphere is messy, isn't it so? When the inner atmosphere is messy, it doesn't matter whether you're sitting in an air-conditioned room or driving an air-conditioned car, isn't it so? The damn air conditioner doesn't do anything for what is burning within. Yes? Now, yoga is just an inner science. Just like there is a technology to fix the external climate, to take care of the external comforts and conveniences, yoga is a technology or a science to create the right kind of temperature, the right kind of climate that this within yourself. Now, whatever you're doing in your life, it doesn't matter what you're doing in your life, whether you're studying or you're working on your career, or you have a family, or you have fulfilling your aspirations and ambitions, or you want to go to the bar, or you want to go to the temple, or you want to go to the moon. It doesn't matter whatever you're doing. Why are you doing whatever you're doing? Yes, it's a question. Why are you doing whatever you're doing? To get what? Happiness, peace, fulfillment. Now, if the purpose of doing whatever you're doing is to create a certain blessedness within you, isn't it important that we figure out the technologies to fix this one the way you want it? Yes. So yoga is just a science. Yoga is not a philosophy. It is not a belief system. It is not any new religion. It is just a science. It has the technology to fix this one the way you want it. Is such a technology important? Is it important? Now, this is the power of yoga, that it allows you to fix this one the way you want it. All the other things on the outside, you can handle it once this one is fixed the way you want it. Isn't it so? So the power of yoga is this session is hopefully an introduction to explore this power of yoga. But for you to explore and experience this power of yoga, it's very important that you must understand another aspect of this technology. This technology is a subjective technology. That means it involves you. You cannot say, okay, you do yoga, let me see. You cannot do that, because inner engineering is about you. It involves you. Yoga is a subjective process. It involves you. You cannot look somebody else's yoga. You can maybe get inspired, but for it to work for you, you have to involve yourself. What does it mean to involve yourself? There are many aspects to it, but at least for the next 80 minutes, can we have your undivided attention for this session? That's something very simple. For the next 80 minutes, can we make sure that whatever you're doing, If you want to experience the power of yoga, can we make sure that your next 80 minutes is completely for this session? So whatever distraction that you have, anything else that you need to take care of, make sure that it is taken care of and you give it completely for this. It's also helpful if you can sit with your spine comfortably erect, because it will create a certain receptivity in your body if you keep your spine comfortably erect, and also keep your palms open and sit in a cross-legged posture. If you're not able to sit in a cross-legged posture on the ground, you can also sit on the chair. But during the session, when we are doing the yogic practices, there will be some practices which you can attempt with the chair, and there are some practices which is ideal that you can sit on the floor and do it. So during that time, we'll give a break for you to come down and sit on the floor and continue these practices. So right now, your involvement, the way you experience this subjective process, for you to experience this, these two things you can make use of. The reason why I'm saying this is a subjective process is, it's very simple. It's like this. Let's say anything which is not yet in your experience, it doesn't matter how much I talk about it, how much we speak about it, you will not understand it. Yes. Most of you from Indian origin, you must have eaten this very nice sweet dish called gulab jamun or rasgulla. Let's say rasgulla. All of you have eaten rasgulla, you have tasted rasgulla. Just imagine for a second that you have not tasted rasgulla. Only I have tasted rasgulla. I come and share. Know this rasgulla, how it is? It's white like cotton. It's spongy like cotton. It's so sweet like sugar. Will you understand? You will not understand. Because how much ever more and more I create this description of rasgulla, you will not understand. But one moment of just putting it in your mouth, one piece in your mouth, you will understand. Isn't it so? So yoga is also like that. It's a subjective dimension. First, you need to take the step, experience, and then you will understand. So for you to experience this, the guidance will be clearly given out. All you need to do here is just follow the instructions. How to continue these practices later on, after the session is over, we will look at it. Right now, just looking at the instructions, seeing what is needed, you just apply yourself. Is this fine? Now, before we go further, it's also important that the practices that we are teaching here requires a certain condition, which we will be looking at. But before that, we want to see how to prepare ourselves for times like this. Times like this doesn't repeat. It's an unprecedented event. What we are experiencing for the last 1.5 years has been unprecedented. And we really have to equip ourselves to battle with the unknown. There are many aspects to it. But Sadhguru recently shared his wisdom of how he sees as this battling of these times. It's best that we listen to him and then proceed with the yogic practices. We will watch Sadhguru's talk on how to equip ourselves in this pandemic era. We'll watch this together.
Seeing this rapid spread of this virus, and so many people are dying and hospitalized, and the hospitals are stressed out, and how to deal with this in a normal way. So I leave it up to you, so see how you can help them to really think through this and try to bring the best aspect of their inner thing so that they can eliminate the fear and will be brave and very confident about themselves.
Well, I'm not trying to belittle the present problem. Yes, it's a massive problem. The situation in India particularly is grim. Now, the choice that we have is this. When the outside situations go against us, we will also turn against ourselves. Or when the outside situations go against us, we will stand up 100% for ourselves. What does standing up for ourselves mean? If you are for yourself, keeping yourself joyful, exuberant, alive is most important. And there is substantial medical data to tell you that when you're joyful, when you're exuberantly involved with life, your immune system, your whole body, every aspect of your body functions way better than normal. There is substantial medical evidence for this. There is no question about it anymore. There are no doubts about it anymore. It's well established. So one important thing we need to understand is right now, everybody is talking about gloom and doom. The logic behind this is, so many people are miserable, so let me also join that and be miserable. This is not a solution. You must make up your mind whether you want to be a part of the solution or part of the problem. If 10 people are miserable and you also join them in their misery, you are part of the problem. If 10 people are miserable, if you can in some way create a lighter atmosphere for them and for you, then you are part of the solution on one level. Above all, unfortunately, modern life has become like this. There is no contact with the earth, there is no contact with natural water bodies, there is no contact with the five elements in nature. Everybody is living and working in a box which is always at 70 degrees centigrade, 70 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. Everybody in controlled temperatures, in boxes, we are living. You may call it an apartment, you may call it an office, but it's actually a box. So now the virus is trying to change your lifestyle. Every one of you were complaining about, if you're working in Bangalore or Delhi, you are complaining every day your commuting was taking 1.5 to 2 hours of circus through the traffic. Now you're spared all that, so don't go on complaining endlessly. There is no need to complain, only our lifestyle is changing. Our life we must protect with responsible and conscious behavior. Nothing about our life has changed, only our lifestyle is changing. But if you're misunderstanding your lifestyle as life, then of course you will suffer. So let us bring this sense to ourselves. What you wear, what you drive, where you live is not the point. How you live within yourself is the point. And right now, this pandemic, always this is the point, but this pandemic is bringing it up front, in front of everybody, to decide whether your life is important or your lifestyle is important. Lifestyle becomes important because we keep on living in comparison to somebody else. That you want to live little better than somebody else, you want to have more than somebody else, you want to be better in every way than somebody else around you. Let's leave this silly way of existence. Let's organize our lives in such a way that you're joyful, you're well, you're healthy, your family is joyful, people around you are joyful and well. This is life. Do not make a problem out of just a simple shift in lifestyle. But staying alive is important because life is precious. Lifestyle is not precious, life is precious. This shift in your fundamental understanding of what is life and what is lifestyle has to happen. If you do this, a whole lot of unnecessary stress you're building in your mind will come down significantly. Because you're not going to restaurants, it's blocked, you're not traveling, it is blocked, well, your expenses have come down. Even if you earn less, it's not really a problem. Your only problem is somebody else may be living better than you, that should not be an issue for you. Better life is not in the makeup that you wear, better life is not in the clothes that you wear, better life is not in the car that you drive. Better life is in the way you are within yourself. If this fundamental priority you change, not for the sake of pandemic, for your sake, not for the sake of the virus, for your own sake, if you make this shift, you will see there are a few issues and problems with the pandemic. The problem is people are losing their lives, that is the only problem. Otherwise, this is not a problem. Unfortunately, people are losing their lives because no nation can be equipped to provide hospitalization for its entire population or a major segment of the population. So, the important thing is, one way or the other, we may get an infection. The important thing is to postpone it as much as we can. So this is why the vaccination drive is very, very important. Vaccination is not an ultimate solution, but vaccination pushes the problem. By pushing the problem, we will not overwhelm the medical institutions and medical infrastructure, with this, fatalities can be brought down significantly. People need not lose their lives. But the fundamental responsibility that all of you must take is, you must take this commitment. I will not get infected. Everything that I have to do for this, I will do. But if it so happens somehow I got infected, I will ensure that it does not go to one more person. This much commitment you must take. Why I am saying this is, the significance and the simplicity of this pandemic is this: it is not being carried by mice, it is not being carried by a mosquito, it is not being carried by some other bird or animal or something. This is carried by human beings. Because we are the only sole carriers for this virus, the simplest solution is that we maintain some protocol so that we don't spread. If you are not the spreader, that's it. If every citizen takes this step, that's it, it's done.
So, like Sadhguru was mentioning, there are many aspects that we need to keep in mind. But most fundamental aspect is how we can ensure that we are part of a solution. One, in terms of vaccinating. Two, in terms of protecting ourselves just in case we become a victim to this virus, that we don't infect another person. And most importantly, to maintain a certain balance within ourselves and handle this uncertainty. Today, more than ever, people are experiencing this anxiety, people are experiencing this stress. Stress is not something that it is created from outside. Yes, the outside situations are uncertain. There is particular increase in uncertainty. It's all the more important that when the outside situations are uncertain, that we equip ourselves to handle this one gracefully. Stress, like for many of us, is not something that is because of a job, because of a situation. You ask the Prime Minister of this country, he is stressed. You ask the people at your work, they are stressed. You ask the chaparasi or the man on the street, he's also stressed. So is there a job that you can do joyfully in the world? It looks like there is none, because everybody is saying their job is stressful. There is no job in the world which is stressful. Stress is happening because we don't know how to keep our body, we don't know how to keep our mind, we don't know how to keep our emotions, and we don't know how to keep our energy. That's why we're getting stressed. Now let us look at the mechanics of stress. Whatever happens in the mind, for every fluctuation on the level of the mind, there is a corresponding chemical reaction that happens in the physiology always. If you go through a day of tension, today you go through a lot of tension, tomorrow your body will become stiff and painful. Have you noticed this? Let's say you're doing asanas or some flexing exercises. You go through the asanas today, your body is very flexible. And today you go through a lot of tension. Tomorrow your body doesn't bend, it refuses to bend because the muscles have become rigid with acidic impurities in the cells. These acidic impurities go on building up. These deep-rooted tensions become either chemical blocks or chemical deposits in the system, which can ultimately become a disease over a period of time. The word disease means dis-ease, or in other words, your body and mind are not getting the kind of rest or ease that they need. Today, medical science is saying this, that most of the chronic ailments are psychosomatic. That is, the cause of the disease is mostly in the mind. Whenever there is any agitation on the level of the mind, a similar agitated chemical reaction happens in the physiology also. There is a certain fundamental defense mechanism in our physiology, which is known as the fight or flight response. Have you heard of this? Fight or flight? In ancient times, when man lived in nature, the situations he faced in life was very simple, or at least the response that was demanded from him was very simple. Even if he wandered into the forest and he came across a wild animal, let's say a tiger, Even in this case, the choice about what he could do was very simple. He had only two choices: either fight the animal or run away from the animal. But today, we have created situations where neither of these two responses are always possible. Yes. You go to the office, your boss shouts at you. You can neither shout back at him, nor can you leave the office and run. Same is the case with the mother-in-law and the housewives. Whenever mind senses any kind of emergency or stressful situation, it in turn activates the necessary system to release an emergency quota of sugar into the bloodstream. So whenever there is tension in the mind, the body is being prepared for intense activity. If you do go through this intense activity, this extra quota of sugar in the blood would be worked out. But today, there is a constant stream of stressful situation and no physical activity. And this ultimately makes the whole system drive itself faster than its natural pace. Now, let's say whatever car you have, this four-wheeler, you're driving it at 50 km/h. The engine life is 1 lakh kilometers. The same car, you drive at 100 km/h, the engine life will be considerably less, isn't it so? Now, why for the same stress, one person gets asthma, one person gets diabetes, another person gets something else? The disease is not hereditary, but some part of organ inherently becomes weak in you, just as it is in your parents. So you have the same tendencies. So if your father had diabetes at the age of 60 or 70, you may get it at the age of 30 or 40, because you're driving your system at a much faster pace than its natural pace. This is a very important effect of stress on the immunity. Today, immunity has become the catchphrase. Today, we want to talk about immunity by everything that comes to us, whether it's a WhatsApp forward or doctor's recommendation or the government's recommendation. All of that looks like it wants to boost the immunity. But one of the important factors which we need to take care is to have this control of our own system. Because stress is not happening because of anything else. Stress is fundamentally happening because you lost control over your own systems. That's why stress is happening. Now, this yoga, this meditation, the immunity tips that we are looking at is to bring back that control, to bring back this choice that what happens within you is in your hands. Now, there are many aspects to it. One of the most important aspects that everybody can incorporate is a simple change in the lifestyle. There are a few tips which are gleaned from the yogic sciences, the yogic wisdom. Sadhguru in the last 1.5 years has addressed several corporate companies and given them simple tips which can be brought into their life to bring in this yogic sciences and in the form of bringing or boosting the immunity. He also has devised a few practices specifically for this. First, to start with, we will listen to Sadhguru on his immunity tips, which we can bring in to our daily life. We'll watch the video together.
The simple thing is just this: hot water, a little bit of honey, little bit of turmeric. The Harvard University, they're conducting a research on how the yoga practitioners, are they surviving better? It'll boost the immune system, but at the same time, it's like a gauge. So those of you who are looking for a magic wand way out of the virus situation, there is no magic wand. Very conscientious, responsible steps are needed. Once we relax the lockdown, anybody's guess. Till now, most of us been protected by isolating ourselves. Now when we have to step out, this is when the real challenge happens. This is when really how responsible and sensible we are matters. After the lockdown is over, when the economic process begins, the best thing you can do is how to enhance the immunity in your system. We can give you a protocol how to maintain this. One thing is strict maintenance of social distancing. This must become your religion,
okay? That is if you're religious, I'm saying. Otherwise, this must become your sadhana. So before you go for your morning sadhana, you must take 8 to 12 leaves and put it in your mouth, chew it and keep it in your mouth. It's very important it's in your mouth. It's most effective when it's in your mouth region. So you must keep it in your mouth, chew it for 1 to 2 hours, let it be there, don't wash it up, don't drink it down, let it just be there in the mouth, do your sadhana with that. Turmeric balls every day mixing up, you consume this in the morning and leave it in the stomach before you eat anything, at least for 1 hour. Another thing is, this is the amla season, that is the nallikai for Kannada people, the bettad nallikai. So right now the season is on, not those huge, golf ball kind of amla. That is all hybrid amla, that is also okay if you don't find anything else. But otherwise, what grows in the hills is only this size. You just smash one amla and put a little salt on it and just chew it. You must keep it in your mouth and it's most effective once again in your mouth. It must be just in your mouth for 1 or 2 hours. These simple things will greatly enhance your immune system. See, there are many traditional things which we can do to, boost our immunity. The last 39 years that I'm in this public life, almost every day I have some public event, which I am committed to large groups of people. But in these 39 years, in all this travel, I have not cancelled a single event because I am not well. The simple thing that we do when we see that we are exposed to infections when we are traveling, if we see there are viral infections or influenza going on, all these years of my visits to United States, I don't catch influenza when it's running rampantly all over. The simple thing is just this: hot water, a little bit of honey, little bit of turmeric, and if it is possible, some pudina or coriander in it a little bit. Right now, this is what we are doing to all the police personnel and the medical personnel in our region. We are providing them what is called as Nilavembu Kashayam, which works very well. We did this across Tamil Nadu when the dengue fever was on, it made a big difference. Instead of drinking just plain water, if they just drink this as a part of their thing, I think it will definitely help. It has helped me. I'm just telling you grandmother stuff, not medical stuff, okay? But it's worked. It worked for my grandmother, it worked for me. The only way is to enhance our immune system, the only way is to behave socially in a responsible manner. This is the way forward, and it's a new world, at least for the next 1 or 2 years. It is going to be a different world than what we have lived in. Right now, many things are being done. One aspect is the Harvard University, in collaboration with the Beth Israel Hospital Medical Center in United States, together they're conducting a research on how the yoga practitioners, people who have been doing some yogic practices, how do they respond to a virus like this? What is their resilience? Are they surviving better? I'm 100% sure they're surviving better, but we need, medical evidence for this, but I'm 100% sure because I have not heard of a single case of any of our meditators dying. Some of them have lost their parents, aged relatives, but not meditators, related. So, yoga doesn't come through blood. You gotta do it. That's the only problem with the damn thing. It works miraculously, but you have to do it. In the yogic sciences, there are various things one can do to enhance one's immune system. In terms of practices, we have put out a simple, powerful process called Simha Kriya. This is a kind of process. One thing is it'll boost the immune system.
Another thing is, it involves your breath in a certain way. Suppose you start doing it today, after a week's time, if you find some difficulty in doing it, you clearly know you have some respiratory stuff even before other symptoms show up. Even before other symptoms with which you normally medically recognize, even before that you will see you will not be able to do the practice the moment there is some kind of a respiratory cause. This viral being, being a very respiratory related thing, it'll be very useful if you're doing the practice every day, twice a day, it'll boost the immune system, but at the same time, it's like a gauge. If you suddenly can't do it one day, you know there is something wrong with your function of your respiratory system. Most people develop relationship with the soil only after they die. But it's very important to develop relationship with the soil when you're alive. I would say especially now, with this virus around, believe me, those of you who are in some way in contact with the soil, here we call this Prithvi Prema Seva, that means getting involved with the soil in a very loving manner. Well, your ability to live, your ability to resist these kind of invasions upon your life will be greatly enhanced. It's not just enough if you live, it's important that you live strong. Living strong does not mean you grow big muscles and dominate somebody. Living strong means here life happens big. For this, you need a body which treats the entire planet as its extension, which it is. So, it's very important that you bring this, all of you who are here at the Isha Yoga Center, we will set up some processes for you so that every one of you, at least once in 3 days, your hands and feet are in the soil. Very important. And wherever else you are, if you have a small patch of a garden, or you can volunteer that you will work in somebody else's garden. Believe me, yes, they will get free labor, but don't think they are getting more, you're getting much more, because you being connected with the soil will make a phenomenal difference for the way your physical body functions. Put your hands into the soil, very important. Otherwise, those of you who are too well-to-do but don't want to be seen doing any work because it may create a wrong image for your affluence, you can have a mud bath. Yes, that is also one way. This will do wonders for you. So if you maintain these protocols, very easily you can enhance your immune system, because ultimately that's the only way you have.
Like Sadhguru was mentioning, ultimately it is the only way that we have to work on ourselves. To work on ourselves means what? There are so many things that can be done, but isn't it important to do the right things? It's very important to do the right things, because if you want right things to happen in this system, the right things has to happen, right things has to be done. All of you are successful enough in your life to understand this much, that with the external situations at least, unless you do the right things won't happen, isn't it so? Or are you still there that you can do foolish things and say a prayer and everything will be all right? You don't believe that, isn't it so? So you understand this much, that unless you do the right things, it won't work. Yes or no? Now, what makes you believe that it is not true for the internal here also? Here also, unless you do the right things won't happen, it won't work. Are you okay for a story? On a certain day, a man fell into the septic tank. I want you to visualize yourself in such a situation. You fell into the septic tank, right up till here in filth. He struggled. He could not get out. Then he started shouting, "Fire, fire, fire." The neighborhood people heard the fire call, called the fire brigade. The fire brigade came, looked all over, no fire. Then they saw this man in the septic tank, pulled him out, and they asked, "Why were you shouting fire? Where is the fire?" The man retorted, if I was shouting shit, shit, would you come? So you must do the right things. Unless you do the right things, it won't work. Now, what do I mean by doing the right things in this system? We could do a simple experiment. Keep the palms facing down. We'll do this together. Keep the palms facing down, loosely placed in your lap, on your thighs, with the 5 fingers together. What we will do now is, don't do it yet, just listen. What we will do now is, keeping the palms facing down like this on your lap, just on your thighs. We'll take a few inhalation and exhalation with our eyes closed. As you do the inhalation and exhalation, I'll say switch. When I say switch, you turn your palms over like this. When I say switch again, you turn your palms back to the original position. In these two positions, the way the air fills up in your lungs will be different. Maximum expansion and contraction will be in 2 different regions in these 2 different positions. I just want you to observe this. Are you ready? We'll do this together. See that your spine is not rested. Your spine is comfortable, but not rested. Keep the palms facing down. Keep the 5 fingers together. Close your eyes. Take a few inhalation and exhalation. Switch. Switch again. Okay. Slowly open your eyes. Did you notice any difference? What is the difference? In the way the air fills up in your lungs, did you notice any difference? When the palms are face down, the maximum expansion and contraction happens in the diaphragm region. When you turn it up, it happens higher up in the chest region. Did you notice it? If you did not notice it, you can close your eyes and take 1 inhalation and exhalation. Turn it over and see. Just observe. Noticeable? So just turning your hands over like this, the very way the air fills up in your lungs is different. The very way the air fills up in your lungs is different by you turning your hands over like this. The very way the life energies function within you is altered by you turning your hands over like this. Such is the sophistication of this system. Now, how many times in a day are we doing this in unawareness? Whatever anybody asks. Now you're setting your life energies into a turmoil and hoping to be peaceful. Such things don't happen. Now, what we are going to learn here is arrived from this understanding, the very deep understanding of this system. This sophisticated system, where if you turn your palms over like this, the lungs function in a slightly different way. You turn it over like this, function in a slightly different way. Such micro precision, such sophistication this system is. Now we'll be introducing these practices, which has come out of this understanding. Yogis who have invested their lives and understood the system to create these practices. So it's very important that we understand these practices, listen to the instructions, and do it to the best extent that we can. Now we'll be going through these practices. First will be Sashtanga, which is an asana. Now, how to hold the body in the asana or this Sashtanga, Sadhguru will be guiding along with the demonstration. Now, we will not be doing these practices today, but let's just learn this practice now. We'll look at when we can practice this asana and how to make sure that it becomes part of your daily routine. But right now, we'll just learn it along with the video. We'll watch this video together.
There is an asana, a yogic posture, which is called as Sashtang. The significance of this posture is that you touch 8 points of your body to the ground and hold it there. In this posture, the lung, particularly the lung, functions in a certain way. There are various aspects to it, but we are talking about enhancing oxygen levels in the system. The entire pulmonary system functions in a unique way in this asana. This is one of the most common asanas, which has gotten distorted in many ways in common use, where almost every devotee is supposed to go into this posture, but due to lack of instruction and understanding, people are just lying down on the ground. Here is a proper demonstration of Sashtang, or touching 8 points of your body to the ground, holding it that way and breathing slightly deeper than normal. Here, the forehead, chest, 2 hands, 2 knees and the big toes are on the floor, heels together, holding it this way. The breath will naturally become in a slightly exaggerated way. Hold it that way, if possible 6 to 7 minutes, otherwise start with 3 minutes. After you have done this for 6 to 7 minutes, relax your body so that the entire body touches the floor and get into what is called as Makarasana. If you are a male person, keep right hand on top of the left hand. If you are a woman, keep left hand on top of the right hand, put your forehead on top of it and just let your body relax for 3 to 4 minutes. And then move your right leg in such a way that the thigh is at right angles to the body and below the knee is also at right angles to the thigh part of your leg. And turn your head to the right, eyes closed, normal breathing, and relax into this posture for 3 to 4 minutes. And do the same on the other side. Turn your head to the left side, get your left leg into that posture where it is almost like you're sitting on a chair. That is, your thigh is at right angles to the rest of the body and below the knee, the shin and the calf muscle is also at right angles to the thigh, and your head is looking towards the left, placed upon your palms. And relax into this posture for 3 to 4 minutes. And once again, go into Sashtang for 6 to 7 minutes. You can do a cycle like this 3 times at a time, and you can do it 4 to 5 times in a day, especially because most of you are wearing masks right now. The danger of decreased oxygen levels, even without infections, can happen because of this. If you do this 4 to 5 times in a day, this regimen, your oxygen levels will definitely be up, and follow this with Simha Kriya so that your immune system will function much better. There is substantial medical evidence today to show that it actually works like this. Many universities have invested their research into this, so don't go on debating this, just put this into action. It is not an absolute cure or a preventive, but we must understand Our health is not an absolute either. Our health is a consequence of many incremental steps that we take. Please take this step at these pandemic times and ensure, to whatever extent possible, that you do not become a victim, nor do you become a spreader. Namaskaram and thank you.
So this is called as Shashtanga. What we learned now is Sashtanga and Makarasana, two different asanas. Both these asanas have a direct consequence in terms of working on the respiratory system, especially the activation of the lungs. And this is something which has to be done on an empty stomach condition. Pregnant women should not be attempting this practice. Now today, whatever we have learned, it's important that you do it along with the instructions. Maybe in the evening after this session, you can do it. Or tomorrow morning when you're having an empty stomach condition, you can attempt this. The next practice that we will be learning today is Simha Kriya. This has been taught by Sadhguru in the last 1.5 years. And many people, including doctors, frontline workers, have had tremendous benefits by doing these practices, especially those who have been exposed to COVID in their family or treating the patients. They have been able to either stay away from COVID or at least make the impact of COVID in their body less. And this is something which is also a preventive, that if you don't have COVID yet, this is a good preventive. It works directly on the lung system. So we will learn this practice. There will be two portions to it. First, we will be looking at demonstration. At that time, you do not attempt the practice. We will be looking at reviewing the instructions, and then we will be doing it together. So until then, please observe. Let's watch this video together.
Techniques are known to have many benefits for the body, mind, and energies. Sadhguru offers Simha Kriya, a simple but powerful yogic practice to boost the immunity and enhance our lung capacity. Sadhguru will be giving the instructions. It is important that you receive these instructions properly. Please dedicate the next 10 minutes exclusively for this process. Please do not attempt the practice while watching the video. First, listen to the complete instructions and then attempt the practice on your own.
So this is a simple practice. For those of you who do not know any other powerful process, one thing is, it will enhance your lung capacity, another thing is, it'll enhance your immunity, and above all, if you can do it today, if you can do it for next 5 days, and suddenly one day you're not able to do it, this means definitely you got some respiratory problem. It doesn't matter what it is, you must have yourself checked if you suddenly find you're not able to do it. What it involves is that you have to fully stretch your tongue out with your mouth fully open and then breathe as powerfully as possible without jerking the abdomen, but powerful pushing in and pushing out, both inhalation, exhalation, 21 times. And when it is done, you roll up your tongue upward, push it as further back as you can. You don't have to use your hands, it's not a good time to use your hands. So roll up your tongue fully as much as you can by itself, and still with your mouth open. Again breathe the same way, inhalation, exhalation as powerfully as possible, but you must get the sound by making a constriction in your throat like this. The sound must be there. It's important that you form a constriction at the throat, at the pit of your throat, and make the sound, and inhalation, exhalation, fully exhaling, fully inhaling as powerfully as you can, but without jerking the abdomen, another 21 times with the tongue rolled up. Throughout the whole process, you have your eyes closed, you inhale fully and simply sit there with the fullness of breath for 1 minute. If you are beyond a certain age or your breathing is not that good, at least 30 seconds. If you're not able to do 1 minute, a minimum of 30 seconds you stay there. When the day you're not able to do it, you must understand that there is some problem with your respiratory system and you must go for a checkup. Right now, I want you to just observe, don't do it, just observe, and I will tell you how to go about the process. So what's being done is, one has to sit in a cross-legged posture, whichever way you can, whatever your body permits, and then use both the arms to push it up in such a way that your rib cage lifts off the diaphragm region, fully pushed up, and now extend your tongue fully out. Like this 21 times. When it's done, then close your mouth, that also 21 times, then close your mouth. You exhale with your mouth closed, making the sound at the pit of your throat by creating a constriction. And then if you wish to sit quietly for some time with your eyes closed, do that, and then you can do whatever you're doing. This is a simple practice that anybody could do. You ensure your stomach is not too full, you must be somewhat hungry. Even if you're not totally empty stomach, at least you must be somewhat hungry kind of situation. So, this is a simple practice, particularly those of you who are exposed either because you are medical personnel or you're police or you're in some other service where you're exposed to
infected people, please make sure you do this will make a lot of difference for you.
Conditions for the practice. You should be somewhat hungry. Ideally, give at least 2.5 hours space between your last meal and the practice. Anyone between the age of 6 to 70 years can do the practice, regardless of their physiological and medical conditions. Those below 6 years of age and those above 70 years of age can also do the practice, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times. People with a brain hemorrhage or a brain tumor can do the practice, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times. You can practice Simha Kriya up to 3 times daily, ensuring you leave a minimum of 4 hours gap between 2 consecutive practices. Please do the practice exactly as instructed. Do not make any changes or modifications to it, such as increasing the count.
Now, if you have this condition of light stomach condition, that means you have not had any food or beverage in the last 2.5 hours. If you had a coffee, that means about an hour ago, if you had a coffee or drink or something, that's okay. But if you had anything heavier than this, make sure that you do not attempt this practice right now. For you to attempt this practice, anybody can attempt this practice. It's best that you can sit on a comfortably cross-legged posture. So take a few minutes to just adjust yourself sitting on the ground and sit in such a way that you can comfortably place your hands on your knees and push it down in such a way that the rib cage is lifted off the diaphragm. This is a very important aspect of the Kriya. If you're unable to sit comfortably on the floor, you can use the cushions as a padding just below the knee to make sure that you're seated comfortably, at least for the duration of the Kriya. Those who have had back injury or back operation in the spinal column or the knee operation, and you're not advised by the doctors to sit cross-legged, only in such extreme cases, you can attempt this practice on the chair. When you're sitting on the chair, just sit cross-legged, right over left. The legs should be crossed at the ankle, right leg over the left leg. At the ankle, it should be crossed. Once again, when you're sitting on the chair, you make sure that your palms are pushing down on the knees and you're lifting up the rib cage and making sure the rib cage is off the diaphragm. Take a few minutes to just settle into this posture. We will continue with the instruction. Let's watch the video.
Sit in a cross-legged posture. Place your palms facing downward upon your thighs, close to the knees. Use both your arms to push your body upward in such a way that your rib cage lifts off the diaphragm region. Close your eyes. Open your mouth wide and extend your tongue out fully. Breathe in and out powerfully, moving the abdomen muscles, but without jerking the abdomen. With full inhalations and exhalations, making the sound from the pit of your throat. Do this 21 times. If you happen to be over 60 years of age, do it 12 times only. Roll your tongue upwards, push it as far back as you can towards the uvula. With an open mouth,
breathe the same way, inhalation and exhalation as powerfully as possible, making the sound from the pit of your throat. Do this 21 times or 12 times if you happen to be over 60 years of age. Close your mouth, inhale fully and hold your breath. Simply sit there, holding your breath with the fullness of breath for 1 minute or a minimum of 30 seconds. Hold your breath as long as it's comfortable for you. When you feel like exhalation, exhale through the nostrils with your mouth closed, making the sound at the pit of your throat. You can sit there quietly for some time and open your eyes when you feel like it.
So this Simha Kriya practice, a very powerful, very simple practice, just take 2-3 minutes for you to do it. Whenever you have the light stomach condition, up to 3 times a day, you can do this practice. Those who are exposed heavily, police personnel, people who are working in the COVID ward, medical personnel, can do it up to 5 times daily, maintaining the light stomach condition. Now, this is a practice which something that you make sure that it becomes a part of your life. And these practices are also available on YouTube as well as Sadhguru's app. We will be giving the required links for you to do it with the guidance. Now, we will also go through a meditation today, Isha Kriya meditation, which is rooted in the timeless wisdom of yogic sciences. It just takes 12 to 18 minutes for you to do this practice. Today, we will be guiding you through this process. Sadhguru will be guiding you through this process. He'll give the instructions first, and then when he asks you to sit cross-legged posture, you can either comfortably sit on a cross-legged posture and do it, that will be ideal. But for some reason, you're not able to sit continuously for 12 to 18 minutes in the cross-legged posture, you can also attempt this practice in the chair. We'll go through this Isha Kriya meditation along with Sadhguru. Please watch.
Isha Kriya is an extremely simple process, but a powerful tool. These 3 ingredients, your breath, your thought, and your awareness, in the right combination, if you use them, your ability to use the mind and the body is so greatly enhanced that you almost look superhuman for somebody else. But I'm telling you, this is human. This is not about being superhuman. This is about realizing being human is super.
Isha Kriya instructions. Preparation. Sit in a cross-legged posture with spine comfortably erect. If needed, use a backrest, but no headrest. Doing the Kriya facing east offers extra benefits. Keep your hands upon your thighs with your palms facing upwards. With your face slightly upturned, eyes closed, keep a mild focus between your eyebrows. This meditation will happen in 3 stages. Stage 1. Inhale and exhale gently, slowly. With each inhalation, mentally say to yourself, I am not the body. The inhalation should last for the whole duration of that thought. With each exhalation, mentally say to yourself, I am not even the mind. The exhalation should last for the whole duration of that thought. Repeat this for 7 to 11 minutes. Stage 2. Utter the sound Ah 7 times with mouth wide open, exhaling fully into each sound. The sound should come from just below the navel. You need not utter it very loud, but loud enough to feel the vibration of the sound. Stage 3. Sit for 5 to 6 minutes with a slightly upturned face and keep a mild focus between your eyebrows. The total time of this practice is between 12 to 18 minutes. You can sit longer if you wish. Please note, when you sit to do Isha Kriya, do not pay attention to the activity of the mind or body. Whatever is happening in your body or your mind, just ignore it and simply sit there. Do not take a break in between, as it will disturb the reorganization of energies that happens during the practice. The Kriya will yield maximum benefits if you do it for a minimum of 12 minutes each time. Do it twice a day for 48 days, considered as a full mandala or cycle, or once a day for 90 days. Anyone can practice this Kriya and enjoy its benefits. Simply follow the instructions without making any changes. This is a simple but very potent Kriya. You can remind yourself that I am not the body, I am not even the mind, anytime during the day. It would be best to use the voice in the video as a support when doing the Kriya. However, you can also do it without using the voice support.
Sit in a cross-legged posture and keep your hands open, facing upward. Sit with your face slightly upturned. The moment you sit this way with a slightly upturned face, you will see naturally your focus will shift between your eyebrows. So maintain this mild focus between your eyebrows. As I utter these 2 sentences, with inhalation you take this thought, I am not this body. With exhalation, I am not even this mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. Keep your eyes closed and just sit still with your face slightly turned upward.
Yogarto va, bogarato va, sangarato va, sangavina. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam, Yasya brahmani रमते चित्तम् नन्दति नन्दति नन्दते वा नन्दति नन्दति नन्दते वा सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वम् निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वम् निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वम् निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वम् निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणम् पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणम् पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे
Take your own time. Take your own time. Slowly, very slowly. Open your eyes.
Daily practice of Isha Kriya will bring health, dynamism, prosperity, and well-being. It is a powerful tool to cope with the hectic pace of modern life and empowers people to experience their lives to its fullest potential.
Wow, wasn't that absolutely enriching? I'm sure that has been some of the most meaningful yoga, meditation, and learning sessions we have enjoyed in a while. This goes to show that when Sadhguru and the Isha Foundation team is speaking, one is sure to receive both meaningful and practical advice on how to enjoy this journey we call life. I'd like to thank you, Sri Swami Nakshatra, for joining us and taking us through all these wonderful teachings along with Sadhguru. We will now open the forum to questions, and I'd like to thank all of you, the audiences, those who joined in. It was such a tremendously engaging chat box that we had. Thank you for participating so well. And we have received many, many questions over the chat box. And I would request Sri Swami Nakshatra to address those questions for us. The first question that we have before us is from Neha Mathur. And Neha goes on to ask that, what effects can yoga have on our conscious and subconscious mind? And how does this affect one's daily schedule, Swamiji?
Conscious and subconscious mind. First, let's understand what is conscious, what is unconscious, what is subconscious. Right now, there is some amount of awareness. Whatever you're aware of, that's in your conscious. Whatever you're not aware of, that's in your unconsciousness. Subconscious is a very small percentage where you're in the sleepy states, where you're aware as well as you're asleep. So it's a very small portion of your mind. But what is your awareness right now? It varies. Right now, you're sitting here. Through the meditation, your eyes were closed. Your awareness of what was around you was very less. But what was within you maybe would have enhanced. Similarly, right now, you're sitting and listening. People around you, whatever distractions that's happening, maybe your awareness of that has come down. But let's say you fell asleep completely. Then what's around you is completely gone. So your awareness also varies from time to time of what is it that you're aware of, and what is it that aware of within yourself also varies. Now, the very purpose of yoga is, in one way to put it, is to crank up this awareness. So you become aware of everything, that nothing escapes your awareness and everything is in your consciousness. What does it mean right now? What will be the impact of such an experience or such a state? To understand it in one way, right now, the pet dog that has come into your life is to enhance your awareness on the external situations. What you're not aware of, the dog is able to smell it. Isn't it so? Now, this has helped you in taking care of your survival better. Right now, it's a pet, that's a different thing. But it came to our lives because it was your hunting companion. It was able to smell your predator. It was able to help you in hunting much better than your own senses would be aware of. So this is one level of enhancing your consciousness into the external realities of life. But when we're talking about yoga and increasing the consciousness, we are not just interested in enhancing the aspects of the external awareness. We are talking about enhancing the inner awareness, or awareness of what's happening within you. Always you're aware. To some extent, you're always aware. Without your awareness, there is no simple experience of an individuality. But this awareness is lost between the two heaps. One is the heap of the food. The other is the heap of your mental impressions. Between these two heaps, what is awareness is looking like a small light bulb. But the very core of your existence, the very core of your individuality is because you're aware that you're existing here. So how does yoga help is to either crank up the voltage of this light bulb. Right now, there is a light bulb here. If we put a veil of white cloth or black cloth, it diminishes the impact of that light. Now, that's what is happening between your body, the curd rice or whatever we are eating has a certain level of dullness which brings into your system. Similarly, the impressions, so much of thought process that's happening, then also the dullness comes into your system. Now, there are two ways to work on it. One is to enhance the intensity of the light bulb, or to remove the veil so that you're able to see it a little more clearly. So one is to create a distance between your body and mind. Another is to enhance the intensity of the light itself. Yoga approaches it in both ways. Both intensity of the light is also enhanced, as well as a distance between the body and mind is established. The Kriya that we did right now, the Isha Kriya, in establishing I am not the body with every inhalation, in establishing I am not even the mind with every exhalation, just does that. Very simple way of distancing between your body and your mind. Now, what happens as a consequence of it? Because that's what you wanted to know. What is the consequence of having this increased awareness on your daily schedule? Now, how many moments in a day are we truly productive if you look at it? Most people are not effective or productive for more than 2 to 3 hours in a specified 8 hours of day. The rest of the time is wasted in unnecessary fluctuations of the mind or unnecessary movements in the body. All this can be set right by keeping the body and mind well rested. One thing is, once your awareness comes, the body and mind don't need extra rest. And alert and awareness will also ensure that all this preoccupation of the mind and the unnecessary movements in the body is sorted out, your productivity greatly enhances. So this is something which happens as a side effect of yoga, you can say.
Thank you, Swamiji. That truly tells that yoga helps us to tap ourselves into our inner dimensions and makes us more aware and more mindful of what exists outside as well as inside of us. Moving on to the next question, that is by Jayashree Shankar, and she's asking that how to be happy throughout the day. I think that's one question that all of us are struggling with, especially in the pandemic times. Swamiji, please enlighten us.
The question is how to be happy throughout the day. Well, you can be happy only now. Just make sure that that sustains. So the question is how to not create misery out of everything that happens in our life, right? So this choice is always there right now. This question has come because somewhere we lost our choice. You go to a child, every moment, 24 hours, he's always joyful, isn't it so? Yes or no? He's always joyful. He or she is always joyful. If you look at him, that clearly says that life is, the core of the life is happiness. It's just that we have lost it on the way. We have lost the plot on the way. Why have we lost the plot on the way? Many aspects to it, but most fundamental aspect is that we have started postponing our happiness. If this happens, I will be happy. If that happens, I will be happy. Well, you can never be happy in the future, isn't it so? All your happiness, not just happiness, whether your happiness or your peacefulness or whatever your experience, when did you experience them? 10 days ago or right now? No, you may say 10 days ago I experienced happiness. No, even when you experienced it 10 days ago, it was in that moment, isn't it so? Yes or no? So all your happiness, it's not just happiness, the very seat of your experience is right now. Whatever you're experiencing is only right now. And whatever you experience, is it created from outside or is it created from within you? Which way is it? It's created from within you, isn't it so? Whatever external situations may happen, are you creating your inner experience? Right now, maybe your inner experience is happening in a compulsive manner, in a reactive manner. Maybe it is so. But it is you who is creating your inner experience. Yes or no? Yes. So if it is you who is creating your inner experience, if you had a choice, will this question even come? You will always create it happy, isn't it so? So it's just that you lost control over your systems. Now, how to be happy? One fundamental thing is you don't have to be happy throughout the day. You just have to figure out a way to be happy right now. That's all this. If you handle this moment right now, and every moment you handle this moment right now, this choice is always there. Now, this yoga practices, whatever we are taught here, is to enhance this. All this is not just a mental understanding, but to experientially make it available that you're experiencing what is there right now. Naturally, you have this choice within yourself to create it in whichever way that you want it.
Very well said, Swamiji. Happiness truly is a very conscious choice that one has to make every single moment of the day. And yoga just brings us a step closer to making that choice very, very mindfully. Swamiji, the next question that we have is from Bhaskara Rao Kota. And he's asking that all of us, the bank employees especially, sit for long hours. Please suggest us how to overcome backache. So what do you have to say to that?
Yes, it is true. I think it's important. I think the spinal column is the most important aspect of not just the spiritual dimension, but also the physical health. It plays a very important role. As the evolution happened, human being or certain aspects, certain species only had the opportunity or the privilege to have a vertical spine. And this vertical spine has played an important role in enabling us doing so many things. But right now, our activity has not allowed us to make it into a vibrant process. So yes, we have to take care of it. One of the simplest way to take care of it is that because you're sitting in the chair almost 8, 9, 10 hours a day, one simple practice that can greatly help is the Yoga Namaskar, which allows to stretch the spine vertically and reinforces the muscles which are supporting the rib cage in the spinal column to support the telescoping of the spinal column. So as the age progresses, the spinal column telescopes and progressed sitting and a lot of activities which just doesn't allow the stretching of the spine also makes this much more vulnerable, that all these muscles become very tense around the neck and the lumbar region. So this Yoga Namaskar is a very simple, very powerful exercise, but just takes about 3-5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes for you to do this practice, maybe 3 cycles you can start with. These practices are available on the YouTube channel as well as the Sadhguru's app, and you can learn these practices and do it on a daily basis. If you want to invest a little more time, then maybe other Hatha Yoga practices like Surya Shakti, Surya Kriya or asanas can help. But to start with, at least to make sure that your back is not an impediment, because every experience of your life is conducted through the spinal column. So it's very important to keep it vibrant. So this Yoga Namaskar will be a very good support for you to keep that way. Once again, I think this is the last question. So we wish to thank each one of you who joined us as part of this session and joined us on this auspicious occasion of the International Day of Yoga. And for us to have joined and shared this technology with each one of you, it's a tremendous privilege. And these practices, like I said, are all available in Sadhguru's app. If you wish to stay connected and know about other offerings of Isha, you can also fill in the Stay Connected form, which will be shared to you via the chat medium. Once again, on behalf of Isha Foundation, we thank each one of you and the Axis Bank to have given this opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for answering those queries and helping us be more enlightened with your wisdom. Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that we all live in the times that may give us nervousness, but sessions like these, people like Sadhguru and the Isha Foundation team, and the support of one another is what grounds us. It is what lets us continue with a smile on our faces, serenity in our mind, and open positivity in every aspect of our life. Let's take this occasion of International Day of Yoga to remember to stop, breathe, and conduct ourselves with joy and belief in humanity. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the Isha Foundation, Sadhguru, Sri Swami Nakshatra for all their guidance today with us, and also Mr. Ravi Narayanan and Axis Bank for organizing this session today and connecting so many of us on this beautiful platform to gain from each other's knowledge and energies here on this platform. That's it for today's presentation. This is me, Shobha Rana, signing off for today. Thank you very much once again for joining everybody. Namaskaram and have a great evening.